In the summer of 2010, the Nexus took WWE by storm. During that infamous moment on Monday Night Raw, a group of NXT rookies, led by Wade Barrett, orchestrated a brutal assault on John Cena and CM Punk. The debuting group wreaked havoc on the arena, tearing apart the ring and destroying anyone in sight. A lot of fans were shocked, including me. I was wondering, who were these guys, and will they be the next big thing in the WWE? Over the ensuing weeks, the chaotic nature of the stable sent shockwaves and left an element of unpredictability to the angle that fans were not expecting. Nexus was the group to watch, and they were doing whatever they wanted, whenever they felt like it, and nobody could stop them. However, the group's momentum took a major hit when they lost to Team WWE, led by John Cena at SummerSlam 2010. Following the defeat, the group never recovered due to the lack of clear direction, contributing to its decline. Over a decade later, fans continue to speculate about what the fate of the Nexus would have been, as it remains one of the biggest what-ifs of all time. But how did this all begin, and who was the main person behind this decision to form this team? In February 2010, the formation of the Nexus began. During this time, the NXT brand had a far different form than what fans know today. Back in the day, it was not a large WWE brand, but rather an athletic competition. There were very talented wrestlers that came through NXT to end up on the WWE roster. If you can remember the original lineup of NXT rookies, including Michael Tarver, Darren Young, Skip Sheffield, Justin Gabriel, David Otunga, Heath Slater, Daniel Bryan, and Wade Barrett, these were some very talented wrestlers. On June 1st, 2010, Wade Barrett won the first season of the NXT competition. His win guaranteed him a coveted WWE contract, and Wade's main roster debut, along with several rookies, was looming on the horizon. Wade wanted to make his group NXT the most dominant group ever in the wrestling world. On June 7, 2010, 7 NXT rookies, led by Wade Barrett, invaded Monday Night Raw in what was one of the most memorable endings to a WWE show of all time. They disrupted the main event match between John Cena and CM Punk, rising from the audience and attacking both men. It didn't stop with wrestlers. The referee, the ring announcer, ringside commentators, and nearby spectators were also attacked. They were breaking anything they wanted, from the announcer's table to the ring. At this time, this was one of the most talked about debuts in wrestling. Feeling overwhelmingly fresh for WWE, with a group of emerging talents, the Nexus aimed to position new faces as significant stars within the company. But they didn't take kindly to the way they were treated by their peers and management. No longer would they be treated as a joke. You're either Nexus or you're against us, they declared. With momentum, Wade Barrett looked set on becoming the next world champion. The group spent the next few weeks attacking WWE legends, random babyfaces, and heels backstage, but their focus seemed to be very much on John Cena, who had long been WWE's poster boy. Things would not stay positive for long, as everything went wrong at SummerSlam. In 2010, John Cena was at the peak of his Super Cena persona, seemingly invincible to his opponents. The anticipation for SummerSlam reached monumental levels as the Nexus, who displayed a strong united front, were due to face a formidable team with the likes of John Cena, Edge, Chris Jericho, R-Truth, Bret Hart, John Morrison, and the 7th member, Daniel Bryan. This was Nexus's first major pay-per-view match, and the stakes were high. Though they were still fairly new WWE superstars, they had built considerable momentum over the last few weeks, making their presence known. If they were able to defeat Team WWE, led by Cena, it could set them on a path towards greatness, on a path to getting more opportunities to be in bigger matches, and be able to jump the line and compete for different titles in the WWE. However, the promising momentum built by the Nexus took a drastic hit, as they were soundly defeated, with John Cena coming out victorious, pinning Wade Barrett. While, on paper, the established WWE superstars prevailing over the rookie faction might seem logical, the booking decision proved to be a monumental misstep. One major criticism aimed at John Cena is the accusation that he intentionally sabotaged the Nexus by leveraging his backstage influence and reservations. In fact, both Edge and Chris Jericho have said the original plan was for the Nexus to go over, but as we know, that didn't happen. Many members of the Nexus have publicly voiced their claims that Cena obstinately rejected the idea of being defeated. Despite Team Cena winning that match, Wade Barrett has since revealed that the Nexus was originally scheduled to win. He was told by Vince McMahon 1 week prior that his team was going over. He even revealed the reason that Vince McMahon gave to the group for the finish. The WWE chairman claimed that SummerSlam needed to have a happy ending, which is why the babyface team was given the victory. Vince thought that the idea of the Nexus winning would give WWE better ratings, but Cena screwed that up. The aftermath of SummerSlam marked a significant downturn for the Nexus, as the majority of fans began to perceive the Nexus differently after their loss, viewing them as a group that had talked big but couldn't win in high-stakes matches. Fans had high hopes for them, but they disappointed. What do you think of the Nexus after they lost the SummerSlam match? The company still appeared to have big plans for the group, as they had the Nexus attack The Undertaker on the 900th episode of Raw, just when his match with Bret Hart was starting. Wade Barrett came down the ramp and interrupted the match, giving a speech about the 900th episode being the episode that people talk about the future of WWE, that is, the Nexus. Undertaker attacks Wade, knocking him over the ropes, and then Kane appears to attack The Undertaker. He disappears and the rest of the Nexus to destroy The Undertaker. This was just a couple of weeks after they'd lost their huge SummerSlam match, and it could have brought some momentum back on their side, but it didn't. In fact, not many people even remember that this moment took place. Rumors at the time suggested that there had been plans for a feud between The Undertaker and the Nexus, and Barrett could potentially end up being his opponent at the following year's WrestleMania. Of course, none of that ever happened, and the Nexus would end up losing all the momentum they had. WWE attempted to do damage control after just a few months later at Hell in a Cell 2010, where Wade Barrett defeated Cena with the condition that if John lost, he had to join the Nexus. Cena was sitting down leaning on the ropes when a fan tries to run in the ring, and as the referee was distracted, someone came out of nowhere and hit Cena over the head with the title, and Barrett covered him for the 1-2-3. This forced Cena to align with the Nexus. The Nexus enjoyed embarrassing Cena in the ring when they welcomed him into the Nexus by making him wear their wristband and reading a welcome letter that they wrote for him. And he even teamed up with David Otunga to win the World Tag Team Championship. However, even this angle was quickly forgotten as Cena was fired by Wade, but Wade would soon realize that this was a mistake when John Cena made it his priority to buy a ticket to every show and attack every member of the Nexus, and even screw up their matches. It got so bad that finally Wade invited John to the ring to try and rehire him, but he refused and vowed to make the Nexus's life a living nightmare. After hearing all of this, the Nexus turned on Wade. WWE finally nailed the coffin shut by kicking Wade Barrett out of the faction, the man who was at the heart of this storyline. Barrett was exiled as Nexus's leader after he lost a steel cage match against Randy Orton and Sheamus. CM Punk got the new position as the leader and renamed the group the New Nexus. WWE tried to move Wade over to SmackDown with Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel joining him. The trio tried to form the Core, and it just ended in failure. They even tried to start a feud between the Core and the New Nexus, but that was a bust. Fans didn't react to the storyline like WWE thought they would. Nexus didn't maintain its identity with Punk taking over, and shortly after, the group came to an end. The whole idea behind the Nexus was to kickstart the careers of a fresh wave of WWE talent. However, reality didn't quite align with this goal. Despite their initial success, the Nexus hit a roadblock after a major loss at SummerSlam. Despite introducing the New Nexus, led by Punk, the group did not remain as dominant. While some members remained in the WWE, they have completely different roles, and the majority have since left the company. Back in the day, not everyone paid much attention to the Nexus losing at SummerSlam in 2010, but now many fans find themselves pondering what could have been if the group had remained united. It's a classic what-if scenario that fans keep wondering about the potential impact and success the group could have achieved. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and make sure to comment your opinion of what you think about the Nexus, and if you have any ideas of what you'd like to see us do videos on next.